Hello and welcome to Horse Sense. I'm Mohit Lalwani, and well, on our last episode, we hope you enjoyed our coverage of Royal Ascot. Here on this episode, we are back in Singapore. It is one of the biggest and most prestigious races of the entire year. It is the Patron's Bowl. The Patron's Bowl is a Group 1 race run over a trip of 1600 meters on the turf. The race had its initiation in 1997 and is the second leg of the Singapore 4-year-old challenge, which is preceded by the Group 2 Stewards Cup and which was followed by one of Singapore's biggest races, the Emirates Singapore Derby. The race was first won by the Francis Nathan trained Casino Raider in 1997 and was ridden by jockey Kin Kyun Lo.
Has got out immediately from the outside from Nebraska's, along with Jubilant Action putting on the pressure early, and so there's Grand Up Joe with the rails run, King as a Child, Casino Raider, that away to I Believe, Lucky Look with the rails run, and so there's Fearless Commander, Happy Families dropping back into the field, moving up on the outside of runners also Just Forever, and for the back to Trekkie Hung in the rear division, and Regency is at the tail end, rounding the turn on towards the 800 meters to go, where at the moment is Kotak along the inside, one covering ground on the outside of Nebraska's, then away to Jubilant Action, running a handy third, then on together with Casino Raider, Grand Up John negotiating a run along the rails, moving up on the outside also Fearless Commander, and bringing up the rest for the back is King as the Child as the homeward bound in the Patron's Bowl, as they scramble for positions along the inside, still Kotak, Nebraska's still putting on the pressure on the outside, also Casino Raider trying to take off, wide out Grand Up John, for the back into the field of Fearless Commander, they're coming all over the place, Nifty 2 comes home together with Regency, my golly, they're spread apart, just about 250 to go, Casino Raider on the inside, Nebraska's wide out there, also coming home is I Believe Regency, and the widest of runners, Golden Boy, Casino Raider, Golden Boy on the inside of runners, Nebraska's, but Casino Raider wins the Patron's Bowl.
Laurie Laxon is the only trainer who boasts of a record of 4 wins in this race, with Dreyfus in 2004, Royal Captain in 2005, My Royal Captain in 2007 and Intercept in 2010.
They're racing in the Patron's Bowl and missing the start, 10 lengths was High Noon. Now Supergirl got the start, Doraemon out wide, Powerful Ruler kicks up, Escamonda is fourth. They're followed by Intercept and Race Ahead goes he. He's just going to get him back in behind them to try and obtain some cover as New Rosewood strides forward of him on the outside, and then Feline Groovy the rails, Ravages 3 lengths away to Samurai Phoenix, and High Noon a further 2 away at the tail. 1100 metres to go and Powerful Ruler goes on top by length on Super Gold, Doraemon, Escamonda. Fifth the rails is Intercept, followed by New Rosewood. She's trekking deep as they thunder around the top bend. In between them is Race Ahead, and they're followed by Feline Groove. He goes, he settles a lot better. He's in the running line. He's got cover about 6 lengths off the lead. Ravages, High Noon on the rails, and back last is Samurai Phoenix as they come towards the 700 metre mark. Powerful Ruler of a leader by 3 parts of a length on Super Gold, Doraemon out wide, and then Intercept with a nice trail, Escamonda, New Rosewood very deep, then Feline Groovy followed by Race Ahead as they pop around the home bend. Now goes he, Simon's about to give him his head, he's got about 6 lengths to make up, then High Noon followed by Samurai Phoenix and Ravages down to the 350 metre mark. Super Gold takes the lead away from Powerful Ruler, New Rosewood, Escamonda, Intercept and goes, he's under the whip, hasn't quite got the sprint of last time but he's looming up on the outside. Super Gold is the leader, goes, he's coming after Super Gold, Intercept comes through in the centre, goes he on the outside, New Rosewood, Intercept, Intercept gets there by a neck on New Rosewood.
The Japanese-bred Wonder Horse, Jolly Shinju, saddled by Takaoka, is the last horse to have won all 3 legs of the Singapore 4-year-old challenge after she landed the Patron's Bowl, and followed that up with a scintillating pillar-to-post victory in the Derby in 2009.
Hornet can't get over, he's 4 deep, does have a bit of cover. Lucky Wish third last, Dragon World second last, Raphael at the tail. It's Halt Mail taking the lead, Jolly Shinju in second place and the pace is solid. 3 lengths away to Kiero Bala, third the rails, inside of REM. The next one My Hero wide, then Be a Man followed by Dylan. Then Huachai, Dravetti dropped the bit, now Big Maverick's dropped back in the field. The Hornets out wide, Big Maverick is 4th last, then Dragon World. Raphael is deep as they come down the side. Lucky Lucky Wishes, the trailer. Jolly Shinju, the leader. She's there by a length on Holt Mail. Kiero Barla's coming off their backs. He's going to come up 3 deep, then REM. In behind them, Be a Man, Dylan, My Hero. Dravetti's a long way back in the field with White Chai. Big Mavericks over on the rails in the yellow colours with the white face, but they've got to catch Jolly Shinju. 250 metres to go. She's a couple of lengths on Kiero Barla. REM on the outside now. Big Maverick is starting to wind up. Jolly Shinju in front. Kiero Barla. Big Maverick on the outside back. Jolly Shinju's going to win the Patron's Bowl.
The 2013 winner of the race was one of the most special in the race's history. The Michael Friedman trained Super Easy ran third in the Stewards Cup, but came out and won this race, putting an emphatic end to his racing career and retiring to stud with one great last flourish for everyone to remember him by.
Field now, the inside totality from First Scoop, then City Ladder. Next running tall, Accelerometer is ridden back in the pack. Settles reasonable, and last of all, as they're about to run off the back, is the Rude Warrior. They go to the 1,050 metre mark, and Good Pack runs along for Harry Cassiner, led by a length and a quarter. Speedy Cat a little keen on the outside. El Milagro went through inside of him. Cash Luck's got across the fence, followed by Musketeer. Then came Wild Geese as they turned downside. Next of all then is Super Easy. Totality down on the fence from First Scoop, City Ladder. Then running tall, well back is the Rude Warrior. And last of all, Accelerometer as they come towards the top of the straight. 600 metres to go in the Patron's Bowl, and Good Pack shows the way. El Milagro up on the outside. Speedy Cat is in third, followed then by Cash Luck. Next of all, Wild Geese, then Musketeer. Super Easy spots the leader about 6 or 7 as they race by the 400 metres mark. It's Good Pack the leader over El Milagro going up on the outside. Speedy Cat a little one pace. Super Easy running on. Cash Luck in behind them. Here's Super out in the middle. Super Easy goes up with El Milagro. Good Pack. Wild Geese begins to run on, but Super Easy got to the front of the Patron's Bowl, worked away. City Lad down the outside. El Milagro boxes on, but Super Easy's going to take it out. City Lad got close, but Super Easy by a neck.
And in 2014, it was John O'Hara who scripted a fairy tale for himself when Spalato gave him a famous first career Group 1 victory to set the stage for this year.
Wall Street Boy and Flying Tempo went back to the rear. They race their way down the back, and Spalato is going to take the lead. He's out by 2 lengths over Johnny Guitar, Empress Woo, and moving up on the outside. Step It Up a little wide is exposed. Cavallo is out 3 deep as well. Valbuena. Cavallo's 4 wide in actual fact, searching forward from Valbuena. Wall Street Boy sneaking up on the inside, then Bendician and Flying Tempo last of all. A bit over 1,000 metres to go, and Spalato comes back nicely under Nunez now. Led the Patron's Bowl field over Step It Up, moving around the outside to second. Then came Johnny Guitar and Empress Woo. Cavallo hasn't been able to get in, is caught out wide from Bendician. Then Wall Street Boy about 3 lengths from the leader over on the fence. Then Valbuena and Flying Tempo last of all. 600 metres to go. Spalato is the leader. Over Step It Up, Empress Woo being ridden up on the outside. Johnny Guitar just angling into the clear, or trying to, as they turn from Cavallo. Next of all then is Wall Street Boy over on the inside from Bendician. Well back Valbuena. Step It Up goes up to eyeball Spalato with a bit of a kick of the 300 metres. Spalato and Step It Up going together. Johnny Guitar finishing fairly strongly from Cavallo. Wall Street Boy's not into it. Bendician down the outside. It's Step It Up and Spalato fighting tooth the nail here. Spalato over on the inside. Step It Up wearing him like a glove. Spalato the inside with Step It Up. Oh, they hit it. I'd say Spalato. Maybe Spalato from Step It Up, but it's a bit like the previous race ahead, Bobber. They were followed by Bendician.
With 10 runners in the parade ring for this Group 1 contest, all eyes were on the favourite War Affair. Trained by Alvin Tan and ridden by Alan Munro, War Affair had made a purposeful return to the racetrack in 2015 after a 5-month break. First, he surprised the best sprinters in the Group 1 Lion City Cup over 1200 metres, a distance too short for him. And then, he had won the first leg of the Singapore Triple Crown of the 4-year-old challenge when storming home in the Group 2 Stewards Cup over 1400 metres. Now, looking for the second leg, he looked very much the part in the parade ring. His main threats would come from the Pat Shaw duo of Quechua and Magneto. Magneto had the services of Juglal in the saddle and was better suited to this trip than his stablemate was. Quechua, on the other hand, was at his best over longer, as was evident from the fact that he had won the 2200-meter Longines Gold Cup in 2014 and had run a very good third behind Dan Excel and Military Attack in the SIA Cup. Quechua retained the services of his regular rider, Corey Brown. With a short price offered for the in-form War Affair, the horses left the parade ring and made their way to the gates. The Patron's Bowl is among Singapore's most prestigious races, and at the start of the race, the favourite War Affair was safely loaded as the starter prepared to set them away.
Now they're off in the Patron's Bowl. Magneto, one of the best to begin, with Order of the Sun being ridden forward. Ideal Guide is going to be very handy, followed by Quechua. Next of all, Night Wager, and 3 wide is War Affair, then Absolutely Husey, and back to the tail went Boomerang Deluxe. So they run down the back, inside 1,000 metres to go, and the front runner here is Order of the Sun, shows the way. In second position is Ideal Guide. They go by the 12 in actual fact. Over on the inside then is Magneto, a gap of 4 lengths to Quechua. Night Wager. Now War Affair's out a shade deep from Absolutely, then came Husey, and back of the tail is Boomerang Deluxe. So down the side they come in Order of the Sun. The VRC St Ledger winner shows the way, out by a length over Ideal Guide second. Over on the inside is Magneto, and they're still 4 lengths in front of Night Wager, then Quechua. War Affair still travelling strongly, about 8 or 9 from the leader. Next of all, Absolutely, then came Husey, and back of the tail is Boomerang Deluxe. 600 metres to go, and Order of the Sun leads the Patron's Bowl into the stretch over Ideal Guide, then Magneto coming across heels. A gap away to War Affair, with Munro just feeling for the champ. Next of all is Night Wager, Quechua, Absolutely, and Husey. Inside the 350, Magneto reaches the lead, but here's War Affair, charges down the middle of Kranji and races to the front. War Affair gets away, Quechua out into the clear, begins to run on. War Affair's clear of Quechua. Magneto battles away, but 5 Group 1s for War Affair, and the resume nowhere near complete. War Affair jogs up in the Patron's Bowl by 3.
I believe he is a much better for Mauler rather than he going for the 1400 compared to the last run. So, and this run we prepped him well too. In fact, first week I back off him a bit, and then second week and third week we increased the workload.
He's a super horse, yeah. So he's got to win the Derby now, and of course that all the tactics will be at play there. So, but he's going to be the best horse in there. Today was very smooth because the pace was good. It was faster than the 1400 metre race, probably on sectionals, you know. And we raced along really smoothly, and I got some cover early, and I just had him poised, you know, at the 600s, ready to strike. And yeah, he naturally does that. He knows how to race. So at the 400, he changes gears and goes, and just you close on them so easily. And then you've got the whole straight in front of you to keep him going. So,
in what was a true run race, War Affair proved to be completely dominant. Forced to travel more wide than he liked and without any real cover, he mowed down the field as if they were standing still and was running away from them at the post. With another 400 metres to cover on Derby Day, he will almost certainly go in as the favourite for the race, despite the fact that Quechua is one on the shortlist that will relish the extra ground. With the day done and dusted, War Affair left the racecourse, went back to his stable for a quiet feed and a good night's sleep.
Now I'd like to invite the President to present the prizes for the Patron's Bowl of 2015 to the winning owner, and the winning horse War Affair, raced by Warplan Racing Stable. Please make welcome Madam Ivy Pum. War Affair registering his 14th win today, and another Group 1, the second leg of the 4-year-old series. Congratulations go to Warplan Racing with this magnificent horse who's been at the top of his game pretty much from the first moment we saw him at Kranji. The winning trainer, Alvin Tan. Having a terrific run in season 2015, and a terrific run with this horse, War Affair, who wins another Group 1, adding to the many that he's already won, but a big one today against the 4-year-olds. And the winning jockey, Alan Munro. Alan getting the job done magnificently today. He's only had 3 rides on this horse now for a win in the Lion City Cup, a win in the Stewards Cup, and now a win in the Patron's Bowl. Congratulations go to a very much travelled jockey, an experienced jockey, and a terrific jockey in Alan Munro, who gets the win on War Affair today. So War Affair dominant yet again, running good time, 1:33.45. And our congratulations go to all winners. Mr. President, please join us, sir, for a group photograph. Thank you, Mr. President.
Welcome back to Horse Sense, and for those of you who have been following us, you will have seen Dan Excel winning the SIA Cup for a second time in a row. Well, it's a fairy tale story, and we caught up with his owner to find out a little bit about how it all began. The owner of Dan Excel, David, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Coming here to Singapore, you know, you've had such success with a horse like Dan Excel. Let's start right out there. The story of Dan Excel, how did it all happen?
Well, Dan XL was a horse that we brought as a 3-year-old. We brought him for the Hong Kong Derby. He came to Hong Kong about 4 months before the Derby and didn't quite acclimatise in time. He came as an entire. John Moore suggested that we geld him. I made the mistake of holding on too long. So finally we gelded him, and then he won his last race in the first season in Hong Kong. And then in his second season, he won the Champions Mile, and then he came to Singapore and came second. He then had another stellar career in his previous season to this, and he didn't win actually, but he had a lot of placings in very big Group 1 races. So he's invited back to Singapore, and it was actually our third time to Singapore. Our first horse was Happy Zero, came third. Dan Excel came second the year before, and I said to Debbie that we had to come and win this time, third, second, first, and that's actually what happened. So he's been called the galloping ATM because he always tries so hard and he always seems to get some kind of prize money, and he's been a great horse for us all these years since we've had him.
And there's a story behind how he was named as well, wasn't he? We discussed that last year after he won.
That's correct, yes. His mother is Love Excelling, which is the Excel, and his father is Shamadal. So I was going to call him Dal Excel because dal is a very popular Indian dish, as you know. But my very good friend suggested that since I have a son by the name of Daniel, call him Dan Excel. So we named him after Daniel, and when he won the SIA Cup last year, it was actually Daniel's birthday on the exact same day. So he was here to celebrate with us, which is really a fairy tale.
There really is a fairy tale. Let's talk about fairy tales. How did this all begin? Your interest in horse racing, where did it all start from?
Well, I remember as a 10-year-old boy, I was following the form. I had a sign on my bedroom door, the Northern Suburbs Racing Advisory Service, and my parents had interest in horses, and I think it was just something that was inbred in me. And once I met my wife, Mimi, she immediately was attracted to the sport as well. So now she calls Dan Excel her horse son. So it's been something that's been a passion of mine for almost all of my life.
Okay, outside of horse racing, you know, you're an investor, you have business interests all across the world. How much time do you spend on horse racing?
Well, it's a good question. My partners and I purchased a horse agistment farm in Australia a few years ago, and we're actually developing a business of buying young horses, training them to be race horses, and selling them to Asia, especially to Singapore and Hong Kong. So I'm finding I'm spending more and more time in the thoroughbred racing business, and it's something that I really very much enjoy. So it's a delight, and my father always told me, if you're doing something that you enjoy, keep doing it. So I'm going to continue to be involved in this business, and I hope to be back in Singapore for many years because here in Singapore, the Singapore Turf Club do such a great job. Singapore Airlines are such good sponsors, and we just love to be here and be part of this racing festival.
Now, as far as David goes, who is he outside of the racing world? The person we know is at the racetrack. He's smiling, he's affable. It's a lot of fun, but it's a demanding world out there. So, outside of the racing world, your character, your personality, who are you?
Well, my profession is accountancy. I guess outside of horse racing, my passion is my family, my wife and my children, and my mum, of course. And additionally, we have set up several charities around Asia to help underprivileged children. So that is really a big passion of ours as well. And fortunately, we've been very lucky with the horse racing, and that's been able to help a lot of children who have not that much, have a good start in society. And we're really pleased that we're able to help the children who don't have things as well as what they should be in this modern society. And that's really become a passion of ours. So my wife has been supporting orphanages around Asia for many, many years. We have youth centres in Thailand, in Hong Kong, in Myanmar, and we really hope to encourage the next generation of children to have the opportunities that we've been able to have. And we're fortunate to live in a very prosperous world. We're in a beautiful hotel tonight. A lot of people don't have that opportunity. We're trying to give that opportunity to these children, and that's a real passion of mine too. So,
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. It truly is, and you know, I mean, we wish you all the success there. Personal ambitions in horse racing, outside of horse racing, whatever they may be. What are your personal ambitions?
well, at this stage of my life, my personal ambitions are to educate my children and get them ready and into the world as much as I can possibly do as a parent. And my other passion is what I just talked about, is helping those who don't really have as much as we do, the underprivileged, especially children, especially in this part of the world in Southeast Asia where I spend most of my life.
Now, there's a saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get. So in my mind, in my book, there's no such thing as good luck. It's just how hard you work. So what's a message that you could send out to our viewers? How easy is it to be successful in a sport like horse racing?
Actually, it's very difficult. And I guess I owned my first horse in 1988. And since then, I've been fortunate to have 3 Group 1 winners. And that is an incredible achievement, as anyone who's involved in the sport will know. But one of my friends, who's a Japanese horse owner, he breeds horses. He had his first Group 1 winner last month after 28 years in the sport. So I think that what I would counsel those who want to get involved is, the most important thing is to enjoy it. Have a lot of friends with you, because unfortunately most of the time your horse doesn't win. So you want to have people around you to share the commiserations as well as the glory. And as much as possible, control the variables. So have a good relationship with your trainer, as I do with John Moore. Have a good relationship with your jockeys, engage with them, see them outside of the racing, and as much as possible get involved with the sport, get involved with the turf club, the jockey club, and control the variables. And I think, as you say, it takes a bit of hard work, but the result, if you get a success, is really worth it.
Well, and that's all we have on this episode of Horse Sense. As always, thank you for joining me. Do follow me on Twitter at Mohit Lalvani. And till I see you on the next episode, goodbye. And as always, may the horse be with you.